I am Grace Lordy. I am 12 years old. I'm a girl, and I am Vietnamese.
All right, so do you understand the ideas of the 7 categories of otherness that I've explained to you earlier?
Yes.
So you obviously at this point know which categories you fit into in the norm and which you fall outside the norm in, right?
Yes.
So can you think of any ways that these have broadly affected your life?
For my age, I am not allowed to have my ears pierced. I'm 13.
That's a good example. But like just first of all, how about just like broad, do you think in the world there is like racism and sexism and all these things? Do you think that they play an active role in the world?
Yes.
Can you think of any like specific examples across the world for either like sexism or I don't know, like religious prejudice?
No.
No? Oh, okay. So, but you definitely know it's there, right?
Yes.
You know, like, even just stereotyping is obviously could lead to certain biases. So obviously the 2 categories that you are different than me in are your race and your gender. So in both those groups you fall into the subordinate or the minority in. So have you noticed yourself been discriminated against or have people treat you differently because of your race, Asian?
No, not really.
No, you don't see that in your active life yet.
No.
That's good. That's good. So what about your gender?
Sometimes.
Can you think of any examples?
In PE.
PE, sure. All right. Just like the boys want to pick the boys because they think they're more physically fit.
Yes.
Fair enough. So you start to see like the biases growing early on, even though you might not see it on like the scale of like the United States nowadays. But you see it like it starts young. Would you agree? All right. So as far as some of the other categories, in the age, you are a little bit below. You're in the minority technically because you're young and you have some lack of rights. Do you see that? Do you see yourself being discriminated because of that?
Yes.
Any examples?
As I said before, I'm not allowed to have my ears pierced when I'm 13.
Fair enough. So like you don't have certain responsibilities and you can't do things on your own. Like you don't have the free will until you're older.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Do you think that that's like a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's not a good thing or a bad thing.
So like, do you think that without that guidance you'd be better off or worse off, or like better off in some categories, worse off in some categories?
Better off in all categories.
So without that guidance, you would be better off.
No, with the guidance.
With the guidance, so you're totally fine with these restrictions, and you don't like think they harm you in any way. Like you're fine with waiting a year to get your ears pierced, and you don't want to do it right now because you think that it's good in the long run.
Yes.
Sure, and this is for all categories, like everything. You've never found a time when you think, ooh, I really wish that age restriction wasn't on that.
If I had a cell phone.
So you wish you had a cell phone?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. And you're not allowed to get a cell phone until you're in high school?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. As for mental and physical ability, you're not disabled and you're not mentally disabled, so you're in the norm there. Obviously, this one's pretty obvious, but how do you benefit from that?
I can do everything I can do.
Fair enough. So you obviously, if you're like handicapped, you can walk up the stairs, you don't have to go through elevators.
Yeah.
Things are made a lot easier for you. You can go to school with lots of other kids that are in your same situation. There's all that. So bringing it back broader again, so we've talked about race, gender, your mental and physical ability, and your age. So do you think that you would be better off if any of these categories were changed?
If gender was more equal.
If gender was more equal, sir. So, like, do you feel like that should be the same with race and all that? So, like, everything should be. So, do you think everything should be an equal playing field?
Except for age.
Except for age. So, you think that like the older people should have more privileges?
Yeah.
Why is that? Just because they're older, or because?
Yeah, they have more experience.
More experience. Sure. But what if we started exposing younger people to those experiences when they're younger? Would they not have even more experiences when they grow older?
I think that they might not be ready to experience those experiences.
So like they could mess something up when they're young that'd affect their future?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, that's pretty much all we need to have, so thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right.